Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are actually here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Well, are we here, or is this a
I
trick?
was gonna show. It says Tuesday, April 8th, 6:30 p.m. No, I did not take the time to go change the clock in my system to trick you again.
Trick everybody.
After our April Fool's shenanigans last week,
Yeah,
and
anyway, the Minecraft movie's out, and I got Minecraft going in the background there. So
yes, yeah,
it's
we
like
are trendy.
current, although it has been advertised that it's going to be coming out or whatever, and maybe it was out last week anyway. I don't know.
It came out Friday, I believe it was.
That sounds right. Lots of craziness there. We touched on some stories of teenagers being complete. Starts with
teenagers being teenagers.
Yeah. Watching TikTok and learning bad behavior and replicating it. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about Minecraft or teenagers. This is the Not Nerd Podcast, and this is a podcast dedicated to helping people, perhaps like you, who are not nerds, to understand technology better. Nate and I are both gigantic nerds, and we hope to explain things to you in a way that makes sense. So,
yes.
And each week you have a hat that we love to talk about. So what do we got lined up?
And before I even spin the hat around, I'm going to tease. If you're watching live, please make sure you stay till the end for the story on my picks of the week. It'll tie into last week. There's suspense, there's drama, there's intrigue.
I can't
all
wait.
of that for my pick of the week.
I'm going to have to start reading the show notes.
Yeah. I do have a hat. It is one I made for my trip.
San Diego. Wales.
Yes.
Something. And hey, Grandma's in our chat. She says, love the punctuality, even though we were about 30 seconds late in getting the show started. Can't get the giant nerd image out of my brain.
Yes. Giant nerd.
We're both giant nerds.
Oh, and my background, I actually decided to stay in San Diego this week. This was very similar, a Google image I found of from the hotel I stayed at. Now, it was the Stay Pineapple at Hotel Z in San Diego. The one thing that was not accurate with this in my room is the fact that there was direct sunlight coming through the window. I had a pristine third floor view of a wall about 6 feet away through a minuscule courtyard, but very cool hotel. Oh, and producer Todd's in the chat. I've seen the same hat reveal bit on the Holy Post podcast. Yeah, I mentioned there's another podcast where they're doing hat reveals. Now, this hat, I made it myself because the last 2 years I was in San Diego, I could not find a trucker hat I liked. And so I was like, you know what?
It's really nice.
I'm going to make my own.
And it's like a nice typeface, and it's got the archway.
It's the San Diego Padres. So a couple of people were asking me if I was a Padres fan because it was opening week for baseball down there.
And you're like, sure, why not? Why not?
It's like,
well, give
not
me a free
really.
Drink.
Don't really like baseball, but I wanted a good San Diego hat.
Now, I also have to ask, I'm sure that's a licensed usage of the word San Diego. I'm sure you paid all the whatever thing to the city and to the Padres for the look of
Well, if I'm not reselling it, is there anything they can come after?
You know what? They'll find a reason. I shouldn't have said anything. We've got a really deep bench here at the show of listeners who touch all industries and demographics. So
that's true. We've got some legal whistleblowers. But I figure if I'm just making it for myself, I can it's a fan hat.
And maybe my pick of the week might have something related to unlicensed use of products, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Very nice. Sorry, my earpiece is not cooperating this evening. If you see me, I'm not trying to give a signal to
To
somebody
your
by
grandma.
pulling. Yeah. But anyways, so San Diego last week, um, I was there for, and I have to say it like this every time, Social Media Marketing World, because it's a really long name and I've got to give it some emotion.
Some gravitas.
This was my third year attending. I've been down there with friend of the show, Wes. We started going 3 years ago,
Wow.
and I wanted to talk today just a little bit about some of the overarching. Now, if you have questions about marketing on social media, please talk to me. The reason I have gone is my day job consist media. I do a lot of social media marketing for people, that kind of things. And yeah, so transform your marketing future. Learn top marketing and AI strategies for 2025.
So exciting.
Yeah, so it is a 3-day event. The VIPs, which it's like a couple $100 more, you get VIP tickets. The first day you have 3 workshop sessions, and I have here the full
Wow.
schedule thing here.
Hmm.
So you got workshops, and then on Monday there's 5 different areas and 5 different workshops and some
Whoa, whoa,
keynotes in the
whoa.
beginning and end.
The real VHS guy says, looks like the stream died.
What? It's working on
That's
in
not
the YouTube
true.
studio.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
back.
back.
I think the
Yeah.
problem is him. But I don't
Yes.
know, maybe we could see. Anyway,
So
for that interruption now.
yes. So 3 days, 17 different sessions that I heard, at least an hour each.
Hmm.
So, needless to say, it is a fire hose of information. There was kind of some different tracks as far as there was organic marketing, so just kind of using social media,
Yeah.
marketing strategy, paid marketing, and then, of course, AI in marketing. Now, if you remember last year's episode, which I'm sure everybody did, where I talked about that.
I'm sure.
So AI is kind of a thing these days. The first year I went was literally like 3 months after it was how do we call this? AC after Chat GPT. So Chat GPT had just launched. Everybody's mind are completely blown, but don't really know how to use it. Last year, everything was all AI, use AI, use AI, use AI. This year, the pendulum, I would say, for this event has swung towards the middle of AI is a great tool. All the AI services, there's some great tools, great research you can be done, all these things. But there was still this overarching thing of, hey, you've got to connect with people. That's what's really going to work. If you're just creating, a faceless AI YouTube channel, unless
Yeah.
you're producer Todd, who seems to watch a lot of those.
He finds
But
out later that it's an AI
yeah,
thing.
but really connecting with people. And the first workshop that I was in was a guy named Rory Vaden, who is a very he consults all the big stars on personal brand and stuff, and his was content marketing strategy from personal brand secrets from top creators. But that was really good. And then there's some that are a little drier, like the second workshop I went to, which was Google Analytics 4 Simplified Common Sense Digital Measurement Tactics for 2025.
Wow, that
So if
sounds
anyone
very
wants me to
concise.
bootleg a copy of that video for them. Oh, and producer Todd with a question. What was more fun to attend, CES or the social media show?
Hmm.
Now, and I was kind of thinking, I think I texted with you, Dave, because both events just a complete blur. Like, I'm in the moment, it's like there's no time to think about anything else. It's go go go. CES was 10 times as much walking, if not more, because you have to walk to everything. um I think CES is more fun just because of the super wide variety of everything
And
we
it was
saw.
in Las Vegas. Or was this in Las Vegas
Yes.
too?
No, this was San
San Diego.
Diego.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, San Diego. I,
Yes,
I'm
which
not.
San Diego,
I'm not
it's
paying
down
too
in the
much
gas
attention.
lamp, the convention center where they do the Comic-Con down there, right next to the baseball stadium. So it's
I
a
have.
very cool area,
I've been
but
to San Diego, and the things that stick out for me are Catalina Island, isn't it off San Diego?
yes, yeah.
And some piers and some parks and some a naval base. Other than
Yes,
that,
yeah.
it's not like Vegas where there's
Yeah,
lots
you've
of
got
fun food
all that
places.
stuff. Or
Yeah.
no, Catalina Island's up LA. It's there's a different island down there, but yeah, San
They,
Diego, it's beautiful, but I didn't even go to the beach or anything. It's just conference focused. It was cool because got to connect with some celebrities in the social media
mm,
marketing space, people that I follow. I was really bummed. There, one of the first sessions I went to was 25 AI tools and workflows that will change how you create content forever. And that was supposed to be Matt Wolf, the AI news guy that I always talk about. And I think I even mentioned that on our pre record show. But he wasn't there. It was another guy who was excellent, and he, in an hour, went through 25 different AI tools, and most of them I was aware of, but he gave some tips. Um, yes, and follow-up question: who is more fun to go to a show with, Dave or Wes? Well,
and I answered that one already in the chat.
yes, Wes. I very equal. They are both people that I travel well with that are very his wife was there as well this
Does
year
he
and
give
last year.
you back massages?
Yeah, there was some of the room benefits. He was in a different hotel and everything
Oh,
this
mm,
time. So but yeah, so I would say, because when people think of social media marketing, they're thinking very scammy,
oh, like
dumb
SEO
game
stuff like
ads
that.
and yeah. But
No,
I
I
mean,
don't think of that.
there's
But
yes, there's a couple thousand people in person, then I'm guessing a couple thousand more that do the virtual where they watch the live streams because they can't travel there. But people from across the world, I met people from. There was one guy I was talking to for a while. He was a pressure washer, and he started a YouTube channel, and now he does business coaching for people starting pressure washer businesses, makes his living off that. He
mm,
started a second coaching business for companies to do Christmas light setup, which is a big business for people with money in a big house. They pay someone to come out and do all their Christmas lights for them. So it's like, who knew these type of people exist? But
man,
all over.
consulting is the way to make money. Is you
Yes,
don't
yes,
do the thing, you consult people who can hire
yes,
people to do
yeah.
the thing. That's where the big
Train
bucks
them to
are.
do it well when you've got the
And
experience
do you even
and
have to train them? You just kind of have to give them pep talks and tell them how to do things and give
yeah,
them some
yeah,
printouts and be
yeah,
like,
pressure wash more.
"That's $20,000, please."
No, your business card is horrible.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, met some really great people, got to connect with some of the speakers there, which was really cool. Pat Flynn,
Mm-hmm.
um,
He's
who
podcaster,
yeah,
book writer.
podcaster, and he started a whole. I think he was a keynote speaker the first year I went, but he has started this whole Pokemon channel and has become
Explain that.
huge in the Pokemon world. So he basically does themed videos about Pokemon, and I'm totally spacing his Pokemon channel, but come on, where is it?
Gaming up,
Oh,
up, down, down, left, right, B, A,
Deep
start.
Pocket Monster. So he's basically created this thing. I
Wait, is this
actually
NSFW? What is this?
no. He gave me a pack of Pokemon cards.
Ooh, don't open those. They'll be worth $1 million.
No, that'll be worth. But he just does wonderful YouTube content. Tells a story like he was trying to complete one whole set from 2012 in 48 hours at a show and the dramatic ending. So he's really just is a
Makes
star in the
content.
Pokemon world. Yeah, but he's got a very very successful podcast. So he's just one of the people I met. But most of our listeners don't follow these people. But one of the interesting things about the show, I have a feeling this might have been intentional from the people that put on the show, but there was nearly zero mention of TikTok. And I think they might have just said, well, it's kind of up in the air. We can focus on the other stuff, and it kind of translates. But a lot of YouTube talk, a lot of Meta, Instagram, Facebook, some LinkedIn sessions they had. I didn't make any of those, but I get access to all the videos. So
I have some friends that are big LinkedIn users, and I get alerts on my email, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go check out LinkedIn, and then I'm like, why am I here?
Yes. Yeah, it's a very interesting platform. I go on there sometimes. I do some stuff for some of my clients on there. I feel like it should be better than it should be, but I think there's just a lot of inauthentic people there that are just, trying to get business and just really sell hard. And that was one of the big themes of, you do have to ask for the sale or, whatever it is you do in social media, but ease off. Don't do the hard sell. Balance it out where you have some informational content. And so hopefully all of the marketing that you see on social media from here on out is going to be better quality because everybody was at social media marketing world. But
I feel sorry for the companies that try to market and do stuff for me because I pretty much am like, no solicitations, delete your email. If you email me more than twice, I put you in a spam filter and you'll never email anyone again. I'm pretty hardcore.
Yeah. But you still buy stuff, so something's working.
Well, I go research it myself. So their websites, articles, lists, recommendations, those types of things.
So you are the ideal customer because you just go to them.
I do. I go right to them.
Yeah. But there was one guy that several years ago, I guess we were doing the podcast then, when I went to Connecticut for a marketing conference with Wes, which CES, San Diego, or Connecticut, Las Vegas, San Diego, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
I will tell you one that I never need to visit ever again in my life. Connecticut.
And in the chat, hey, Grandma says, I can take those Pokemon cards off your hands for the train guy. Name your price. $30,000. And the real doctor, RAPVHS, says, my nightmare is to have a career that requires me to use LinkedIn. Now, fun fact, anytime you see somebody, and I'm not referring to me, maybe, who knows? Anytime you see somebody really active on LinkedIn that hasn't been there in a while, they're usually looking for a job.
Yes. You can always tell when somebody's updating their LinkedIn profile.
Why did Dave like 30 posts yesterday? Oh, he was on LinkedIn for some reason. Oh, his resume just got updated. That's weird.
Unless you do business to business sales, you're usually going there to look for a job. I'm trying to get on there more. I have some people I've connected with on there that's kind of where they message. But also, since I have a business to business company that I should market better, trying to provide some more informational stuff on there. But it's not like I'm like, join my class now or else.
What are your thoughts on Nextdoor as putting your business on there as a
the Nextdoor app, as my parents call it? I've actually had a couple people reach out to me and ask what they thought about marketing on Nextdoor. I'll be maybe the most brutally honest. Everything I see on Nextdoor, I would consider it a cesspool.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I mean, it just seems like it's a place where people much like LinkedIn, where people only go there usually when they're looking for jobs. Nextdoor is where people go just to complain about something. And
but they have a whole business section that's for people who want to find goods and services. Because I'm on there occasionally and it'll be like, who's the best house painter around here? And my answer is usually Google is your best. But people want to know, and so people recommend businesses, and if you have your business profile on there, they can just link right to that or whatever. So anyway, I've contemplated. I get emails from them occasionally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Nextdoor. It's not a cesspool. That's a little
all right.
hyperbolic.
Hey man, you can
Uh,
have your opinion.
yeah. I don't need I have an account on there and I get an email every once in a while and I'm just reading like what the emails
Oh,
I do not care about somebody's cat
it looks like we just
passing through your
lost
backyard.
30 listeners
Yes,
because
yeah,
they are
dang
big
it.
next door. And oh, wait, and they're complaining on Nextdoor right now. Don't follow the Not Nerd podcast. They hate
Oh
Nextdoor.
shoot.
Dude, what have we done?
Well, there it goes.
Ah,
Shut the podcast down. We are done for. But yeah.
oh, to have
So
30 listeners.
yes, that would be wonderful. Um, Social media marketing world. It's a very fun event. There was a couple other people that I heard talking there. I don't go to a lot of conferences, but people that do go to a lot of conferences, they say it's one of the best. Now the bummer about it, being my third year, I feel like I really got my routine figured out for San Diego, where to stay, where to eat, how everything kind of works. I got from the airport to my hotel. I had to walk a few blocks, $2.50 on the bus. Somebody gave the pro tip. Pro tip, San Diego, there's a bus that goes down Broadway, $2.50. Um, so
Nice.
yeah, I just got San Diego figured out, but next year they're moving it to Anaheim.
Oh,
They have, as I told somebody at the
it's a bit
show,
north.
yeah, I'm leery of that, but I know they did not make that decision lightly, especially because a lot of the key players live in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
But the San Diego Convention Center, I guess it just gets booked out and pricing, and
Well,
so yeah, Anaheim
maybe
next year.
if you go next year, maybe I should pay my own bill and go along with.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not invited, but I'll spend most of my time at Disneyland.
Yes,
That might
yes.
be
There was
fun.
many people commenting that there will be extra days on their trip for Disneyland.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you do have questions about social media marketing, this conference, social media marketing world, let me know. But I wanted to give an overarching that I felt very positive just on how people were talking about AI. There was the initial keynote speaker, Michael Stelzner, who runs the whole company. He was talking about that some research about different industries and that how the marketing industry is one of the ones most affected by AI. Just because copywriting is super simple with it, creating ideas, all that stuff. But even that, just focusing, it's like the meme where it's like, I don't want AI drawing me pictures. I want AI doing my laundry so I can draw more pictures.
I saw
Um,
I saw a cartoon somebody drew and it was like AI is taking your job and then it shows like people in a factory working and they're looking outside and a bunch of robots are relaxing on the lawn
yes.
and painting
Yeah.
and doing all
Yeah.
these things and
Exactly. So I think it's moving into that and hey, Grandma, I think you must have missed it. The show is moving to Anaheim next year, which is a crazy short drive to Disneyland.
yeah.
So it's moving from San Diego, which I'm sad about. But again, I'm there mostly for the conference, and I don't have a lot of extra time to play. So we'll see if that changes next year once the family finds out it'll be in Anaheim. That might change the schedule, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
There's
had
a
a
lot
really
more
good
support
time.
from families once
Yeah.
you're near Harry Potter World and Disneyland.
Yes. But anyways, that's that. Our main topic, and you know what's more important than social media marketing world? Dave's pro tip of the week.
I should have got one of those together this week. Behold, I did. I found this article on Mac Rumors 12 new things you can do in iOS 18.4. As you may or may not be aware, if you've done the latest update to your iPad, iPhone, Apple TV, Watch, everything, this new uh, 18.4 is the hot newness, so to speak.
Hot newness. Yeah.
So I thought we could quickly go through the new things in case you didn't realize that they were there. So apparently, a new thing is prioritize notifications. Apple Intelligence can show you notifications that may be important in separate sections of the lock screen so you can catch up on what you may have missed. So I think before it just managed it by itself, and now you have a little more.
That's nice.
You can prioritize, say, I want like all my Spark emails to float above everything else. So there you go. So in addition to your iOS devices, the Vision Pro content has also been updated. So for the 6 of you out there in the country who have that product, Nate being one, discover you can use your phone to discover Vision Pro content, which is a welcome addition, right?
Yeah, it's very nice to be able to not have to put it on, and if you're just looking around, you can see kind of what's new in there, and I'm looking at the app now, My Vision Pro, so it is
Maybe you'll have
very
to
helpful.
show us that sometime. I did see
Yes.
a picture of a guy on the internet. That's very vague, I know. But
Yes,
he cut
on
out
the Nextdoor app.
yeah, on Nextdoor. He cut a picture. He took a picture of his eyes, and then he cut the picture out and then put it on his MetaQuest visor.
Oh,
And so
nice.
it's super creepy. But it's
Yes,
like a poor man's
poor
Apple
man's
Vision Pro.
Vision Pro.
So also getting back to our article, Apple Intelligence via Control Center. So Apple Intelligence, this new technology that's a little controversial is coming out. Well, in Control Center, where you swipe down from the upper right hand corner of your screen, and you can do things like turn lights on and off, turn your volume up and down, lock your screen. Well, now Apple Intelligence and Siri has their own little controls that you can add in there. I have not tried them or used them, but they are now available. So there you go. Visual intelligence. So there was that. If you have a phone that has the action button on it here.
Yeah.
This is a 15 Pro Max, and then all the 16s and above have that. Well, you can configure the little action button to do visual intelligence now, and maybe we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. But you press it and you point it at stuff, and it's similar to what I was using with my magnifier app, where it'll read or tell you what's in front of you. So you can learn about it. Like I think the example they used when this first came out is they pointed it at a dog, and it's like, that's a Boston Terrier. You know, the owner's right there. You could have just asked the owner what it was. But, maybe it's a lost dog. Pause downloads. Let's say you're downloading a giant app like Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom, and it's 250 gigabytes, and you don't have time, so you can pause it and finish downloading it later versus it ejecting all the data and you have to re-download it again. So that's a change. Change app settings via shortcuts. This is a very nerdy feature, but if you're into shortcuts, you can go now into app settings versus just it's more nuanced controls that you can get. So that's a good thing. There it is. Power users will appreciate the numerous new shortcut actions. Get news about everything food. Now, Nate, have you delved into the new feature in Apple News?
I have not. I've heard some people talk about it. I do not use the Apple News app, but the fact that there are recipes now.
Yeah. So it's just a section in there. You can go in there, and there's featured recipes from various magazines and stuff that are in there, and they display well on your screen, and you can just follow along. Now, me and other tech pundits who I listen to have already solved this problem by using other apps. I think is it Mela or something like that I bought a while back. And I like to put some recipes in there. Of course, I don't cook very much, and I keep trying to get my wife to do it because she cooks more than I, but she'd rather go to Pinterest to find the recipe that she's pinned in there and scroll through 25 pages of the life story of the person. And, and it's, I don't know why, but you know what? I appreciate the food she makes for me.
Yes.
On to the next. Sketch and image playground. There's a new style. Animation, illustration, and now sketch. And as I look at these pictures, they look the same. I don't know what the difference is. This tool is not that great, but if you use it, there you go.
Yeah.
And ambient music. Some of this stuff was built in before, but it's more robust now. You can go and just into the settings and turn on ambient music. If you want to sleep, just chill, relaxing. You don't have to have an Apple Music subscription. You don't have to have Spotify. You don't have to download a sleep app or a relaxation app. Some of that stuff is built right into your phone, and you can just turn it on as a kind of a noise generator, which is pretty cool. Man, how many more are these? Categorize your mail on iPad. This was a feature that was formerly on iPhones through the mail app, where you could have categories, kind of like Gmail does with like updates and priority. Now you can do it on iPad. Why wasn't it there before? Only Tim Apple knows. Hey, and for all of you who wanted a bigger CarPlay home screen, you can now have it. I actually just hooked up my external CarPlay device in my little Spark out there just today. I'd taken it out because the wires had fallen and people were tripping on them or whatever, but I hooked it back up. So there we are. Next, we have Express Yourself with new emoji. Of course, those are the 7 new emoji, it looks like. Harp, shovel, splat, root vegetable, etc. And that's it. Those are the majority of the new features that you can find in iOS 18.4, which is a lot of stuff for a point release. You know what I mean?
Yeah, usually... it was a pretty big, a lot of new features, kind of that. It seems like typically, they release the new one in the fall, and then kind of that, whatever the point release is in the spring is where they kind of
the emojis are usually
new
the big
goodies.
thing.
Yes. Nice. Well, yeah, that's good. And I hadn't, and I'm on the betas, so I'm always like ahead, so I forget what people don't have and what is there. So it's good for people to get a little reminder of things. If something piques your interest,
let us know.
Go check it out. Very nice. Well, that must mean it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines.
Yes, I gave us a little preview of outdoors. It's been raining here, unfortunately. There's this push and pull between beautiful days and rainy, crappy days at this time of year in the Pacific Northwest. And so today is a in-between day. It rained a little bit, but now it's just kind of overcast and not much going on. So we'll see.
Yes, indeed.
No activity.
No activity out there. So in that case, let's get to Just the Headline.
Martian dust may pose health risk to humans exploring red planet, study finds.
Bloomberg's AI-generated news summaries had at least 36 errors since January.
Scientists may have discovered how to extract power from the Earth's rotation. It's flat, though. Go on.
FTC says 23andMe purchaser must uphold existing privacy policy for data handling.
Trump extends TikTok deadline for the second time.
Apple flew 5 flights full of iPhones from India and China in 3 days to beat Trump tariffs.
And finally, iPhone farms sending more than 100,000 with a T scam messages per day.
And those are just the headlines. Figured we'd get that like and subscribe on the Just the Headlines. If you don't catch that re-edited short version that I do on the social medias to market our podcast to
like
the world.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Let me tell you, put in the comments why you don't like and subscribe. Tell us in the comments, which will give us activity.
Yes.
Don't you always hate those people who post on anything and it's like, I don't know, did I make a mistake or is this the right take? Let me know in the comments. It's like they just do it to get the algorithm.
No, one of the big Minecraft guys that Isla watches, he always is like, did I miss something? Did you see something in the background? Let me know in the comments. That complete comment farming. We do it a little more tongue in cheek, but it's and when you're working with kids or not people as intelligent as our listeners. It'll totally
No,
work.
no. And not to say that children aren't intelligent.
No.
Well, actually, yeah, they're idiots. What am I
Yeah.
thinking?
Yes. Yes. And hey, Grandma likes rainy days. She says, speaking as an ex-Californian, rainy days are not crappy days. So
I don't know, Grandma. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. You got that for free,
oof.
ladies and gentlemen. I
Yeah, I
normally
hope we don't
charge
get
for
a
this.
copyright strike on that one. That was
It was too perfect.
whew,
Yeah.
whew. Well, let us move on to our takes of the week. And I did want to mention, we briefly mentioned that the Nintendo Switch 2 had kind of leaked, and then they did like a brief teaser for it. But now we know a little bit more. It will launch June 5th and costs $449.99.
As is going to be on my gravestone, I have opinions. And I have
Yes, yes,
opinions
I
about
figured you
this.
would.
Yeah, I mean, we know we've been waiting for the Switch for a long time. Oh, wrong button, sorry. And nobody really knew how much it was going to cost. I think the old one was like $350, and so people were speculating it's going to be $400, maybe it's $425. Well, they just ripped the band-aid off and they're like it's $450. And if you have been paying attention, Mario Kart is going to launch alongside this new product, which is
Mm.
very, people love Mario Kart, me included. Well, they've raised the price of the Mario Kart property up to $80. It was 60, and then I think they did some at 70, and now $80. And there
Whew.
was a rumor or a story that the physical version of the disc is going to be $90, but I think that they said that that's not true. It's also going
Jeez.
to be $80. But you can buy a pack-in version of the Nintendo Switch 2 that includes Mario Kart for $500, making the price of the
Ah,
game $50 digital if you prefer to purchase it that way. I do plan on purchasing one, but the problem is, as you may have heard, there's a lot of tariffs floating around. And so Nintendo has paused the pre-order. They're still planning on launching it at the same time, but in order to pre-order it for a certain price, they're like, we're going to wait and see because maybe it's going to be $550, maybe it's going to be $600, maybe it's going to be $1,000. Who knows? So gamers like me are not very happy with the situation,
yes.
and unfortunately for Nintendo, the timing was the absolute worst that it could be.
Yes.
Apparently,
Yes.
Trump is not a gamer.
Apparently. And I will remind people, we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet.
Well,
So we'll leave it at that. Now, spec wise, what do you
yes.
think, Dave?
Okay, so they've got some new chips in there. And they got a couple new things here. What's that other article? Oh, that's the pre-order article. So
Yes.
here's the takeaway. It's got a faster, very capable processor. It's got a larger, very nice, high resolution. It's a 1080p screen that has a refresh rate up to 120 frames per second, and when you hook it up to your TV, it can be 4K. Um, there's there's a second USB. I was gonna bring I have my old Nintendo Switch at work. I was gonna bring it today for a prop, but it's got a USB-C port on top, so that if you're holding it in handheld mode, you can charge from the top, or if it's in the dock or whatever, or actually if it's on the tabletop and you're using it kind of like a portable monitor, plugging in electricity into the bottom doesn't really work. So putting it in the top is much more convenient. There's a peripheral of a camera that you can plug in so that you can do
Mm.
some very rudimentary Xbox Connect style
Ah,
punching blocks and stuff. But it's
okay.
mainly for playing games with people across the internet so they can see you and they can see your screen. And the controller has a new C button, and the C stands for chat. It's a new chat
Oh,
platform, or a chat uh, integration that goes across all games. So any
oh,
game
cool.
developer can implement this chat thing. It does require that you pay their yearly subscription to their service, which is like $20 a month, or I'm sorry, $20 a year. It's really affordable. So lots of new things. And one of the greatest features is that it's backwards compatible with nearly all the original Switch games.
Oh, nice.
And many of those will have graphical enhancements, which unfortunately you have to pay for the graphical upgrade. And
Yeah.
that's not unprecedented. Some other platforms do the same thing, but you would expect that if you bought the game once, it would just be free. But anyway,
Yeah.
everybody's got to make some
Yeah.
money. But that's kind of the basic stuff.
Yeah. So they upgrade, and I heard there's like something where if you have the game and you're in the same room with other people, that you can share the game. They don't have to have a copy of it.
Yeah,
Like if you're, the kids were all sitting in a room, if you had one copy of Mario Kart, and there's some upgrades to the dock, so
yeah.
it'll do 4K to your TV and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it hits all the buttons for the upgrade. Besides the
Yeah.
price and the timing,
Yeah,
uh,
everything's better except for the pricing is going to be a little hard to swallow, but
yes, yes,
that's the times we live in. So, if you're a
nice.
gamer, you better start saving now.
Yes, and I did find another article. They're doing an interesting thing to try to avoid, to thwart scalpers.
Yeah.
But it says you can purchase a Switch 2 directly from Nintendo, but only if you have at least 50 hours of gameplay on the original console. So they're, oh, you have to have a Verge subscription for the article. Hopefully your blocker.
Oh, my
Uh,
blocker's right here. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to so the way this works is you just have to have a couple of stipulations because otherwise people can go and I'm going to buy 600 of them and then I'm going to sell them for a markup. And so they say it has to be tied to a real Nintendo account and it can't be made just yesterday. It has to
yeah.
have history. You have to have gameplay on this account. And I believe you have to have paid for the Nintendo Switch subscription at some time in the past.
Okay.
And this is a whole idea to let devoted fans at the
Yeah.
front of the line buy
Yeah.
this stuff. And then as you know, they produce more units and more become available, then anybody can buy them. But the very first wave, they're wanting people to buy them who aren't going to just take them and resell them for upgraded prices. So
Nice.
yeah, it comes with several new features that touches on this. The 7.9-inch 1080p display, 256 gigs of storage, C button for chats. So yeah, I mean, all welcome upgrades.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not in a huge hurry. If I don't get it in the round one, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
If it goes over $500 for the pack-in game and the unit, I might just wait till like Christmas or something, or
Yeah.
who knows. I'm in no hurry. I've got plenty of games around me, as you have. You if you could see,
Yes. Yeah.
most of them are digital now, but
Yes.
I
Well
could build
set on that.
a bed of games and sleep on it if
Yes.
I wanted to.
And I agree with Hey Grandma in the chat. She said, nice to see one trying to get scalpers. Yeah.
Yeah.
To reward your loyal fans. I think that that's something that, good on Nintendo. They
Yep.
have a lot of loyal fans, and to reward those to try to get them the devices first, it's
Well,
pretty
and
cool.
what's more, they have a version for the Japanese audience only. It's $350 and it can only be tied to Japanese store accounts.
Mm,
So there's really no incentive for anyone outside of Japan to have
yeah.
one of these units. And so they're saying, hey, we want to make it cheaper for our local audience um, who support us or whatever. So I think that's kind of cool too.
Yeah. Yes. Very nice. Our next one, not quite as exciting, but one that you found. Mozilla Thunderbird finally takes on Gmail with a new email service.
And as I was looking through the show notes today, I was really excited to try this out. I'm like, oh, I better try this out before the show. But I downloaded Thunderbird, then I got to reading the articles and stuff, and it's not out yet. It's
Uh,
just something that they've announced. But so Thunderbird's been around for a long time. It's just an email program that you can tie in Gmail, any type of
yeah.
Comcast email, and it's to view the emails. So I did download it today, and I have to say, it's not. It's a very acquired taste. We'll say it's capable.
Yeah.
It's pretty configurable, but the look and feel of it is very basic and kind of rudimentary. But this new announcement is not really about the program. It's that they're going to be offering an email service. And so I could get Dave at thundermail.net or .com or whatever and use that anywhere. I can go to a website and I can read the email on a website just like Gmail, or I could use Thunderbird, or I could use Spark, or I could use Apple Mail to read this. So it's a new email service that is forthcoming to
Yeah.
kind of go head to head with all of these, mainly Gmail, which it's widely known that it's a free account and they make money by sponsoring ads inside of your Gmail thread. And they take the data that is in your email messages to feed their AI or make their commercials better. Who knows? They're using content that you create and receive to help them earn money. But
Yes.
Thunderbird, quite opposite, is going to be privacy first. They're not going to do any of that scanning. They're not going to do any AI. They're not going to do any of that. And it's going to be a free service with, I'm sure, paid upgrades if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Open source, privacy focused, and user controlled. So, yeah, it looks like they have a wait list that you can submit for. But yeah,
And I
Mozilla,
did.
they've been around forever, and Firefox browser I use for some of my stuff, and yeah, the Mozilla Foundation, and
Mm-hmm.
to have an email service kind of makes sense to go with stuff. Yeah, I had a client that they used Thunderbird only because they didn't want to pay for Microsoft Office and
Mm-hmm.
use Outlook. So they'd use, and we always had a heck of a time getting anything to work in Thunderbird, getting
Yeah.
accounts added. I know it's come a
It's
ways from that,
it
but
was very simple. I added a personal email address, a Gmail email address to it. It was fine. I entered the thing. It shot me over to a little pop up. I entered my information, clicked accept. 30 seconds later, I had all my emails in there. So they've come a long way. But again, it is quite the departure from some of these more aesthetically pleasing things. It's just very basic. Lots of black and lots of white, I can say.
yes, yes, no frills. And our last one, we have a security and privacy story, and actually, friend of the show, Elliot, had sent a video breakdown that a guy had kind of done on this and how it worked. But North Korean hackers cash out hundreds of millions from 1.5 billion with a ByBit hack. So ByBit is kind of a crypto broker. And these North Korean hackers, which, as the guy talked about in this video, is like, wait, North Korea did something? They have a very elite hacking team.
Yeah,
They
they do.
they don't have a lot else to do in North Korea, or correction, they aren't allowed to do a lot else in North Korea. So they do a lot of hacking, and they got into the system and basically siphoned out 1.5 billion in crypto out of this. The Lazarus Group out of North Korea.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And right now, the value is not great on crypto, but it could be back up. Yeah, we should have done a crypto watch. It's
Yeah,
down
yeah,
in the
that's true.
70s. It's pretty low right now.
Oof.
But
Yeah, let's not, when we're not bringing up crypto watch a whole lot, it means it's not doing very good. And hey, Grandma, back to the last one. Thunderbird is too long of a word, in my opinion. Maybe T-mail.
yeah, that's a good
Uh,
idea.
and she said Nate's mustache is growing faster on his left side. Yes, the debate of using a green screen is the fact that my mustache often gets lopped off,
Yeah.
sadly.
So here's the 3-month outlook for Bitcoin. It at its highest point was at $106,000 per coin, and now it's 76. So time to buy. Do not take financial advice from us, because
No.
every time we try to play the stock market, we lose, sir.
Yes,
We
yeah, we need a
lose.
sounder for the financial advice disclaimer. Maybe the air
Bum, bum,
horns
ba,
would work.
bum.
Yeah. The whammy from let's make a deal, but press your luck.
Yeah.
That's our financial things. Well, let's cleanse our palate with our bonus odd take. This is a fun one. I found a great little resource. You can find it at tv.garden. And basically, what it is it gives you a globe and a listing of the countries. And you can click on any country, and there's a bunch of free TV streams that you can pick from
Let's see what
there.
Costa de Avare has for us. We've got Alpha et Omega TV. Um, oh boy, that's amazing. It's in French. Who would have thought? And Côte d'Ivoire that would be French. This is very interesting. What's a country that you want to listen to?
No, let's go to Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you.
Right, is there a
Bermuda,
search? I don't know where
Bahama.
Aruba.
There's a list of the countries on the
Okay.
right side there. So Aruba is near the top there for you. So they've got Aruba TV, Aruba TV
go.
Plus, Bolchi
Aruba,
TV,
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take ya.
Cool FM 98.9, Nos, Isla TV. Ooh, Isla's own TV
Isla's
channel.
on TV. We got to check that one out.
Yeah.
This is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, just a fun way to see what's going on around the world. I mean, obviously,
they got their
most of them aren't going to be in English.
They got their high-tech 7th generation iPads there.
Yeah.
We're on 10. Oh, that's pretty good.
But yeah, just one of those fun directory sites of just an endless list of let's see, I'm guessing North Korea is on the list.
Are they on there? Oh boy.
Korean Central Television. This media that could not be loaded.
Is it under N or K?
N.
There it is.
Yeah, there's one channel. Oh, my favorite country in the world, Djibouti.
I like my countries like I like my women.
Djibouti.
All right, here we go. Here, this is Malaysia. Let's see.
Oh. Nice. Random sitcom in Malaysian.
Do they have closed captioning? That'd be.
Oh, that would be nice.
Fun. And I think on the side it shows what language they're in.
Oh yeah.
That's
helpful.
So look for, it'd be nice. Oh, roll the dice. And there is a search function. Okay, at the top. I'm going to roll the dice. We've got Dominican Republic, Tela Cibao. Man, just all kinds of good stuff. Is there anything in English here? Let's see.
I did the roll the dice and I got Mongolia and it was Bloomberg TV Mongolia HD.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Who knew?
They do have a couple English channels in
Yeah.
Mongolia. Oh no, that's the roll the dice list there.
I see.
Bluey and Espanol. That's my new favorite. But yeah, what a fun little source. And Hey Grandma says, "Come on, Dave, give them a break. RE their iPads. They can't be as nerd techie as you guys."
Well, yes. And due to their own country's tariffs, maybe it costs a lot to get iPads there. Who knows? True. Who knows? Looks like there's some flooding in Iran, so avoid. You might want to avoid. You might want to avoid
tips.
Travel tip: because of the flooding, avoid Iran. That's the only reason.
Well, you know where there's no flooding?
Where's that?
Our picks of the week.
I was going for that echo and I hit the bell.
Close enough.
Close enough. Yes. Pick of the week. I teased this earlier. I got to do some prep here. I should have planned ahead. So the tip of the week involves an Apple Watch, but not only an Apple Watch, but we're going to see if we can do this dramatic thing called Apple Watch mirroring. It's not the pro tip of the week, but it is in the accessibilities section of your phone. If you have an Apple Watch tethered to your phone, go to accessibilities and there is mirror your Apple Watch. And I'm just vamping while I'm waiting for this to mirror. And we did have it going earlier. So this is what it looks like as it's attempting to mirror. You know what it is? I think it's because my watch was asleep. Let's see if it wakes up here. But again, while we're waiting, the name of this application, and I'm going to bring it up here, is called ArcEmu. ArcEmu. What is ArcEmu? Well, friends and family, let's take a look. I think I can show this. Here's ArcEmu. This is an emulator for various Game Boy platforms. So Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. You can play them on your computer. Sure, that's fun. But wouldn't you rather play it on your Apple Watch?
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble getting it to load on my Apple Watch, so I might just have to hold it up to the screen. But get this, you can play games on your Apple Watch. So I'm gonna.
Yes, the hardest thing to do on Earth is hold your Apple Watch up so a camera can see it on a podcast.
You have to have like a special camera to do it. So here is the game. It's 1942 for Game Boy. Here's Capcom.
Great game.
Let's go through. There's the start button here on the side. Bum, ba, bum. 1942.
Nice.
You might remember 1943 for Nintendo and for arcade, but for Game Boy, it's 1942. And let's get started here. Now, I will say that this particular game is a little bit difficult to play on the watch. There are others that I would recommend over this one, but I just wanted to show you the gameplay. So here we are. The plane's going to take off and do its thing.
Do the loop.
And then, so you can do fire. Well, you can die, like you just did. But you can move left and right, up and down, front, back, all that stuff, right? So here we go. Come on. Let's go to the next screen here. So I'm going to show you moving left and right. And then I think this one is bullets. So there you go. I mean, I wish that my pairing would have worked so that we could see it on the screen, but apparently it worked earlier. It's still doing this.
Yeah. I saw a pre-show, and Hey Grandma says you too can play games on a minuscule screen.
Yeah. So this is if you're just waiting in line somewhere. But what I was going to do is show this. This is, you can also have it on your phone. So if you want, you can play the things on your phone through the little emulator. And there have been other emulators before for iPhone. Was it last year or something? They kind of opened that up due to legislation in Europe. But here I'm playing the Batman game. It's black and white because it's for the original Game Boy. And I think I can throw. I don't have any batarangs to throw, or I don't know how. There's my grappling hook. Anyway, great fun. It's more fun on the phone, but I'm just amazed that you can load those up on your watch.
On your watch.
And the one that I was playing that actually works is the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And the left, right, up, down, and then the B and A for your shield and your sword. Because it's like an RPG where there's like some reading and some light battle. You don't have to push a bunch of buttons at the same time. You can kind of stand there and hit a guy, There's not a lot of dexterity that you need. So I was playing that probably for a half hour, just going through and playing it, and it worked well. So anyway, if you're looking for games on your watch, there are more. I discovered more applications. I'm still reviewing those, but that you can put right here. So good times.
Nice. Well, my pick of the week, I teased earlier, we've got a story to tell. So last week's April Fool's episode, we recorded Saturday afternoon. I left for my trip Sunday morning. One of the things I talked about when we were talking about World Backup Day was, my Honda CRV. If that goes out, I've got Chelsea's car. I've got options for that.
Sure.
I jinxed myself.
Uh-oh.
That evening, we had some family passing through town, Chelsea's family, so we were going to go out to dinner, and Chelsea moved my car so they could park in our driveway, and she goes, I think your back rear tire, or your right rear tire is really flat. I was like, good, because I don't need to go anywhere at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, like the airport, that I don't want to bother anybody, so... flat tire. So I have a cigarette lighter compressor, went out, blew it up, got some air. I was like, I've got some Fix-A-Flat in the garage. I'm going to take care of this. I'm working my way through the garage. I can hear the air compressor going out on my tire. All of a sudden it makes a funny noise. The hose just completely blew off my air compressor.
Wow.
So got enough Fix-A-Flat in there. I'm like, I'm hoping I can make it, saying my prayers, go to the gas station, fill it up with air. Still have a lot of packing to do for my trip, hoping to get a couple hours sleep. Wake up in the morning, saying my prayers as I walk around the car. I've got enough air. I'm making it to the airport.
Nice.
Made it to the airport, parked in the long-term parking, and I'm going to San Diego, made my flight. I'll deal with this when I get back. I get back. Tire's flat. I called AAA because I'm like, I've been paying for AAA for a couple years. I should use this. Delay. Oh, somebody will get back to
3
you. I look
hours from
online.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Pro tip, not my pick, but a pro tip. PDX has a crew specifically to help people with their cars in the parking lot.
Hmm.
They will air up a tire. They will jump start you. They will help you get into your car if they can, completely free of charge.
Wow, I did not know this.
So I got a hold of
That's
them.
the
They're like,
pro
we're
tip
right in
right
the middle
there.
of a shift change. So it'll be 20 minutes. So I'm like, well, let me see what I hear from AAA. I'll give you a call back if I need somebody. They sent somebody, anybody. Anyway, these guys and AAA show up at the exact same time. All that to be said, so my air compressor that just completely broke. It was old. I had a backup for it. It was a pick of the week years ago, a big thing that was kind of a rudimentary battery pack, not like our good new
Oh,
ones that had an
it
air
does
compressor.
10 different things.
Yes. Found that, could not find the the specialized power cable for it that I had to order a replacement for one time because I lost the
Boo.
first one. Couldn't find that, which I found a week later when I was home in the back of my car. Anyways, so when I was when I was getting ready to drive home from the airport, I had some time while I was waiting for my fixers to come. I went on Amazon, and thus comes in my pick of the week, some amazing new technology, the Airmoto tire inflator portable air compressor, air pump for car tires with digital pressure gauge, LED light and auto shutoff function, cordless pump for car, motorcycle, bicycle, balls, more. Bicycle comma balls, not
I
bicycle balls.
yeah.
But yeah, this thing right here, and at first I was like, they didn't send me the hose. No, the
What?
hose stores in, see if I can get it out, in the thing.
Ah, that's
And
pretty
then you screw
nice.
that in. I've still got the little protective plastic on there.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
hold it,
there's your battery.
comes on. It's got different settings. You set what you want your air pressure to be. Now, I completely inflated my tire Friday morning before I went and got a brand new set of 4 tires on my car
Hmm.
because I was long overdue. But it completely inflated my car, and it's still at full battery, or inflated my tire. So I got this. I think I got it on a coupon. It's currently $70.
Yeah.
And there it is right there, the smart pump. But again, to have a device like this to be able to pump stuff up,
Can it? I mean, how much can it pump up?
I forget what it says for the highest pressure. I mean, it'll do a car tire. Let's see, it'll go up to 120 psi,
Hmm.
which
Okay,
is a
that's
lot
a
of
big
psi.
tire.
Yeah.
So, not to steal your thunder, but we have a bicycle pump that does this thing.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
an additional pro tip: those can pump up your car tire. It doesn't have to be a
Eventually.
special thing.
Yes.
And so my front left tire was a little low because mine's fancy. It's like an 8-year-old car. It's got
Mm.
wheel sensors. It's not a 15-year-old car like yours. So
21-year-old car.
21-year-old
Thank you
car.
very
Yeah,
much.
mine's only like 8 years old. So anyway, it'll tell you when the thing is low, and I'm like, what the heck? And so I'm like, all I have is an air pump, and I've used it before, and so now it's in the back of my car because I wanted to make sure it was going to hold. But yeah, I just go out there and I pump it. It's got a little gauge on it. So I'm just saying
Yeah.
this tool is amazing. But if you're in a
Yes.
pinch, then
Yes.
if you have a bicycle pump at home, it will work for your car. But
Yeah.
this is a much better solution.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was great. Because I needed to replace that one that completely broke, and I realized the other one is not a great solution. And the guy at the airport, he actually had something very similar to this. His was a little more robust
Yeah.
because I'm sure our tax dollars paid for
Oh,
it.
does it have
Um,
a headlight on it
what?
or a
I
light
didn't
on it? I mean,
even know about the light. Yeah. Oh,
or is
yeah.
that includes LED flashlight for dark moments?
That's
What? You didn't
that's
even know
great. So
that?
you can see Yeah, I used it during the daytime, but no, it worked really great. And for peace of mind,
That's cool.
to have that in your thing if you don't want to wait on AAA. So all that to be said, pro tip was not AAA because it was like over an hour before they showed up. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
this is a great little device that I'm excited to have after that dramatic extra adventure for my travel this last week.
That's
Ah,
crazy.
yes. Well, if you would like either of our picks, like hey, Grandma said in the chat, good for your game, good for people who aren't allowed to have their phones out in the workplace.
Yeah.
Just play on your watch.
Well, or you could
And
work, but
yeah. And she liked my tip about the airport crew. But if you would like either of our picks, you can head over to notpicks.com. Got a bunch of affiliate links and even stuff like Dave's app today. We don't get any affiliate money, but we still link to it there as a great resource for you. And then I go through those anonymous reports on Amazon to find our Ramazon pick of the week, which this week somebody purchased the Victor M123 SSR Quick Kill Easy Set Mousetrap, 6 reusable mousetraps.
nice. Get those
Yeah.
little buggers.
Yeah.
$3.85 per count per each. What a great
Yes.
bargain.
Yeah, so if that was you, let us know. These are pretty well reviewed, 4.1 stars on 1,794 ratings. Victor is the #1 name in mousetraps. I mean, they have been around a long time,
I'm a
but
little
these are
disappointed
modern.
that they don't say peanut butter not included.
Oh,
I mean, they
liars.
don't say that.
Yes.
It's deceptive. But yeah,
Yes.
apply bait under bait cover. Pull back red kill bar handle until it clicks and the trap locks into place. Place trap where signs of rodent activity are visible. Hold trap at rear. Slowly lift red kill bar handle to discard. Don't hold the mouse by the rear, but the
Yeah.
actual
Yes.
unit. So there you go.
And I would be negligent to not mention that there are more humane ways to trap mice, but sometimes you just need to get those boogers.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a society. It's
We do live in a society. Good call. Pro tip. We live
sometimes you
in a
got to deal with
society.
things, you know.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
There you are. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah.
Fortunately, as far as I know, I don't have any use for this, but I have had every spring those little black sugar ants come out.
Oh, yes.
I took care of them with my toros though, so
Nice.
bye-bye. Maybe
Bye-bye.
that's a future pick of the week since we're
Ooh,
doing pest
pest
control.
control.
The Pest Control
That's
Podcast with Nate and
yeah,
Dave.
our new segment, everyone's favorite segment, Pest Control with Nate and Dave. Well, with that, thank you to everybody that joined us in the live chat. Watch it later on YouTube or listen if you want in a podcast app. Find us on the socials and get out there and tech better. Mm, 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 mm.